Welcome back everybody, I have another triple hot spring video for you. First we will go to Fuxing Hot Spring, then we will go to Qikeng Hot Spring, and finally, if things go right, we will visit Qikeng Hot Spring. Part of this video was sponsored by Roto-Q 360. It's an entirely mechanical self-rotating rotisserie machine which does not require any power to run. Its patented design will rotate for up to 60 minutes and can hold a 6-pound chicken. More on this later in the video. From here, it's a pretty short hike, less than 2 kilometers. I drove all the way up to where it goes to the Landslide Lake. There's like a huge landslide lake up there that was formed during Typhoon Marathon. And that lake has a water source behind it, which is being used to transfer water to the local village. So that's why that road in the river exists here, because they're building out that water source. I'm driving a 1998 Delica L300 Green World. You know, it means it has the sunroofs. It is mostly stock. Yeah, I know. Inside I changed a lot of stuff, but outside in terms of like the 4-wheel drive capabilities, it's mostly stock. I have a bash guard under it, something to protect the bottom, and I have a snorkel. Other than that, it's stock. I'm just using normal kind of all-terrain tires, and it was very easy to get here. So you just kind of need any 4-wheel drive vehicle. You don't need anything super fantastic. This year, it's pretty easy. Even though it's mostly stock, didn't have any problems getting here. The Delica, despite its age, is still kind of a beast. So really fun taking it out. And from here, that saves us about an hour of walking. So now the hot spring's just, 2 kilometers or less. So let's go check it out. Wow, look at all this firewood. Camping here would be fun. There's like a shortcut here. Just feel the heat radiating off of these rocks. Wow, this year the shortcut's really clear. So the river we're hiking up in here now, this is the Camisa River. It's really, really special. For the bottom part of it, there's a lot of minerals in the water. That's coming out through the landslide, that giant landslide that created the lake. So all those minerals are coming out there. I don't know what it is, maybe like potassium or calcium, something like that. And it's coating all of the rocks. So the rocks become white and yellow. Then they're kind of rough. They're not slippery at all. So it's like super nice to walk in them. The water turns this beautiful turquoise, like green, blue. It's such an amazing place to swim, and maybe because of the minerals on the rocks, it heats it up more. Even the winter, it's like kind of warm water that you can swim in. It's not a hot spring, it's being warmed by the sun, but it's super warm. And in previous years, there was, because they built the dam there, it creates these giant lakes that are so nice to swim in, and then typhoons come and they always destroy it. But it looks like this year, they're building another dam, so I have high hopes that later there'll be another really nice pool to swim in and maybe kayak in like there was 2 years ago. I really hope it ends up that way. Got pretty lucky with the weather. Today is a beautiful, beautiful day. We're almost there. It only took us about, what, 20-30 minutes? Super easy. This year, because there's no typhoons except for that little, that small one at the end in November, it's going to be the best hot spring year ever. All the paths from last year are still there, and all the pools from last year are still there. So now everywhere you go is going to have like bigger and better pools and easier paths than basically any year ever. So 温泉季节快乐, now's the time. Seize the moment. All right, there's the hot spring. It's hot. This one you don't need to touch. Yeah, it's too hot. Alright guys, this is the engineering breakdown of Fuxing Hot Spring this year. From there is the entrance for the cold water inlet. So that can be lifted up and down to control the amount of cold water. So I just closed that to lessen the amount of cold water. And here this is the biggest flow of hot water. This is super hot. You can't touch it. I don't have my thermal camera right now, but it's probably about 60 degrees or something. It's really hot. This needs to mix with the cold water before you can soak in it. All along this area here, along the edge, there's hot water coming out of the shale. And of course, on this edge, there's a little bit of cold water coming into the river. So actually, it's a very difficult pool to get to mix and get two temperatures. If you're lying like this, very quickly, you're going to be too cold on this side and too hot on this side. The best thing to do is come over here. This is really hot and this is really cold, and the hot water is mostly on the surface. You gotta kind of, get in here and relax, and then just sort of wave your arms like you're flying. Yeah, we're flying. And if you do this kind of lazily, then the pool becomes the perfect temperature, and it's really comfortable. You can kind of take a nap. But don't stop flapping your wings, or else you'll burn and freeze. So here we have a similar problem. Way too hot coming out of here, and it's way too cold back there. We gotta keep up the rotation. Make a sweat war. That was fun. We're gonna head to the next hot spring. This was really great for soaking in during the day. I think at night it would probably be a bit too cold. What somebody needs to do is come here with a pipe, and if you just run the hose from up there where it's boiling down to the big pool, then I think it'll be perfect. It's a really easy fix, but I didn't have one with me today. So if whoever's watching, think about it if you plan on coming to Fuxing Hot Spring. It's getting dark, so let's get out of here before I need to use the headlamp and go down to the next hot spring. We're going to the next hot spring, Qikeng温泉, at night because they're doing construction there. We want to wait for them to finish, and then we can drive in after they're done and check it out. Should be pretty good. Come on, let's go. There we go. Check out my big ass chicken. So now I'll show you how to prepare chicken the Xiao Fei way. The most important thing is going to be our sauces and spices. A good cook always tastes his food. How did they do this? There we go. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Camp Cooking with Xiao Fei. Play the clip! Camp Cooking with Xiao Fei. Dun, 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 dun. I have a full chicken here. We are going to roast it on the Roto-Q 360 grill. Originally, I was going to drive down to the river and barbecue it there in the river next to the hot spring under the stars. But actually, when we got down this road, it was already late, and then there was a gate there. And I definitely did not try to open the gate or figure out a way around it. And then after that, I definitely did not spend more than an hour driving along looking for a different place to get in the river before eventually coming back here and saying, you know what, I have a luencha, I can just park, I can camp anywhere. So here I'm going to dress the bird, and I'll show you how to do it either Xiao Fei style, my mix of North Carolina barbecue but with local ingredients, and then I am going to put it in a backpack, carry it down there, and roast it by the side of the river. I'm just going to take the bare essentials, only the parts of the Roto-Q 360 grill that I need, and also my charcoal, and of course this bird. So let's dress it up first, make it look nice, and then we can get cooking. So first thing we're gonna need is salt. A lot of salt. Salt will tenderize this meat and make it nice and delicious. Just put it on there. Doesn't matter how it gets on there because we're gonna rub it in there first. But I want to put everything on before I get my hands dirty. There we go. Then add some cumin. Yeah, gives it a nice color. I love cumin. I'm gonna throw some rosemary on there too, and some black pepper. Get that black pepper. Now this is where it gets all North Carolina-y. We're going to put a lot of barbecue sauce on here. Yeah, barbecue sauce, barbecue sauce. That'll caramelize, make it nice and sweet, and to give it a nice tangy, tendery taste. Apple cider vinegar. There we go. So now I'm gonna rub that in, and then we're gonna put these vegetables. We have onions, 2 kinds of peppers, carrots, ginger, and garlic. We're gonna stick that inside of the bird, and that's gonna give us some sweetness and flavor from the inside. First, let's just rub this in. That looks good. Rub it. Rub your bird. I just realized in Chinese that doesn't sound... Never mind. Xiao Fei, there's children watching. You want to make sure you rub the insides too. Make sure you get the salt and stuff inside the bird. Just shove it right here through the neck hole. Wow, that is a small neck hole. Make sure you get the salt in the neck hole. There we go. Now, let's get stuff in the neck hole. Garlic, ginger, peppers, carrots. I guess neck hole isn't really correct. This, I guess, would just be the body cavity. Some juice. Get in there. Get in my chicken. Get in my chicken. Stuffing my bird. Get the ginger in there. Go in there, carrot. One more round of cumin and pepper. And squeeze. There we go. All right. This is how you carry a chicken when you're hiking. Huh? It works. So the Roto-Q 360, it came with a whole bunch of different accessories, like the basket I used to cook drumsticks and chicken wings last night. This is delicious. Or also these sausage holders, which I put baby corn on, just for fun. But at its heart, all it is 3 things. A base, a skewer, and the rotisserie. So that's all we need to go down there and cook a chicken. And because I'm hiking, we're just gonna take the minimum. So that's what we're taking now. Got my grill, got my rotisserie. Ha ha ha. Charcoal gloves. Boom. More water than I expected. All right, made it to the hot spring. That looks nice. 1 pao tong, not a pao tong, 2 pao tongs. Ooh, this one looks deep, that's good. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Oh, look at the steam. That looks hot. All right, I am excited. Let's put on some chicken and then we can jump in this hot spring. It's Qikeng Hot Spring, everybody. All right, we're getting our coals ready. We have our hot spring, so let's prepare our chicken. That was such a much longer hike than I was anticipating. I'm super glad I did it because chicken at a hot spring under the stars is what it's all about. I'm gonna take the skewer mabob, just stick it right through the chicken, which hopefully will be easy because I really shoved the hole full of stuff, so I'm gonna have to push that stuff out of the way. And I'll use the rotisserie, crank it a few times, and this will put on a timer. It'll rotate. I'll put it on there, and we're good to go. I've actually never done this to a chicken ever. It'll be my first time. Wow, that was really easy. Nice. All right, there we go. That's locked in place. That is a fine-looking bird. Place it this direction on the rotisserie. Align the holes. Put it in. And that's a rotating chicken. Woo, that's hot. Damn. Pull out the tab. Oh, yeah. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, Too hot, we're gonna have to do some adjusting. So I figured out what this bucket's for. I got some cold water from the river. Yeah, one more bucket. This is perfect, and it's very easy to add more hot water from there, so. Woo. Ah, now this is the life. I'm gonna turn out the light, turn out the camera, watch the stars for a while that chicken roasts, and we'll check back in, I don't know, 20 minutes or something to see how it's like. I bet it'll probably take about an hour, but man, I am looking forward to it. I am starving. So I took a nap in the hot spring, and while I was resting, the chicken cooked itself. It's now 160 degrees. It looks delicious. I'm super excited. I don't know how to eat it because I didn't bring a plate. So this will be interesting. But man, boy, does it look good. Woo-hoo! Wow, look at that. It just pulls right off the bone. Ah. The skin is so delicious. It's like crispy and salty. Oh, hot, so good. I forgot to bring a knife, so I'm gonna eat this with my hands. Apple cider vinegar is so good on chicken, like marinade. It tastes so good. It tastes right in the skin. It's like a little bit sweet, a little bit sour. Normally I don't like chicken skin, but when it's cooked on the fire like this with rotisserie, it's so crispy. So because I don't have any way to cut this open, I think that in order to get to my goodies in the center, I'm gonna just like eat my way to it. So that's the plan. I'm just gonna eat this entire chicken all the way through and get my goodies in the center. I love the wings the best. Hey everybody, good morning. It's 2 p.m. I was so tired because I was at the hot spring last night until 4 a.m. and then I had to hike up that steep ass hill. And so by the time I got to the car and fell asleep, it was already basically sunrise. I slept in the car until about 11. Then I came down here to Bao Lai, get some breakfast. But I had to have fried rice because there's no dumping at, you know, this hour, which is a real shame. I feel like most Zaocandian should stay open until about 4 p.m. or just stay 24 hours. That's the way to do it. But it is just so hot today. So instead of going to the third hot spring, what we're gonna do is go swimming in a lake. There's a really cool Landslide Lake in Lao Nong River. Landslide comes down here, comes out, boom, blocks off the river. And that's how a landslide lake is formed. I'm gonna go check it out. I also wanna go there and check the flow because I wanna do rafting. I don't think it's too late for rafting, but it looks small, but I'm gonna check it out. So I get this question a lot. People ask me, why do you live in Kaohsiung instead of Taipei? Well, today's November 28th. It is cold in Taipei. It's 20 degrees and gray. But it is 30 degrees and sunny here in Kaohsiung. In fact, it is so hot today that I canceled my third hot spring trip, and instead I'm gonna go swim in the river in this landslide lake that formed in Lao Nong River. So that is why I live here in the south. That's one of the main reasons I love it here in the south. For the available days to go out and enjoy nature are just so much more. Almost any time, it's a good time to go out and have some fun in nature. So that's one of the reasons I love it so much. So I parked here, that super shiny blob is my car, and then gonna hike down to that lake. It looks super nice, and I'm interested in checking out these rapids, because I'm gonna come rafting here a bit later. Just gonna climb down that. Looks pretty easy, not worried about it. I'm still really high up. And I'm down. This is Lao Nong River, one of the greatest rivers in Taiwan, in my opinion. It covers a huge area, really vast,
basin. It's also a fantastic place to raft. You can raft here for about 40 kilometers. So now I'm going to go check the water level because there's some rapids here, which look really fantastic. Wow, they look good. Ha ha ha, look at that. Wow, that's good. So here's the landslide behind me that caused the lake. You can see very clearly that the rubble coming down has a higher elevation than for the rest of the river, especially behind us. So because all of the dirt and rock is coming down, it sort of builds up a mound here, and that's what creates the lake behind it. I came here 2 years ago to go kayaking, and it was way up here going down. It has eroded a lot since then, so the lake is probably getting smaller. You can see here that it cut along the edge. Wow, is it a fantastic landslide? It really shows you the power of nature. It's not just a few rocks that are coming down here, but an entire mountain. It's pretty crazy. After Typhoon Marakwat, further up ahead, there was a similar landslide, but much bigger, and it made this whole area a lake for several years. Although now it's subsided, and these are just new ones that are cropping up here and there. Now let's go check out the lake, see what it's done. Before I used to just come through here. That's where Swan Lake Waterfall is, but now it's really so much erosion that it's hard to get up and down there. Wow, there it is. That is the dam that is holding the lake back, that's holding the river back. You can see it overflew just in that area. So all those rocks coming down in this direction, and this is where it broke. I think 2 years ago when I came here, it was probably about 3 meters higher than it is now. So I guess the lake would have been 3 meters deeper. Once the sun goes behind that mountain there, it's gonna get cold. Better get in that water fast. Made it, but once again I am too late. I took too long to get here, slept too late. Now it's gonna be cold. I'm still going in anyway because that's just the way I do things. Look at this, check out those waves. Woo! Wow, look at this crazy current. So recently I commented about this on Facebook. A lot of people were asking about it. It was commented because in Lingjiao Waterfall, the government just closed it there using Article 36, and they posted a sign showing currents like this, and they called it an undercurrent. The reason that that is incorrect is actually, very easily demonstrable here. We look at the mechanism of flow, it's gravity. It's just going from a high place to a low place. The reason why there's such a strong current right here is because on this side, it's lower than on that side. So here, there's going to be a very strong current. But when you go out into the pool there, the current that goes here will be pretty much only on the surface. The reason for that is what was mentioned before, gravity. So it falls off the edge, and it can only fall off the edge from the top. So only the areas that are above this drop off here, so it looks like this drop is about 60 centimeters, right? We have about a 60 centimeter drop here. So only the top 60 centimeters of the water can fall off into this hole. Everything under that will be pretty much still. It'll be moving around a little bit because of just being bumped into by other water molecules and a little bit of heat transfer. But for the most part, all of that current is going to be here on the surface. When we look here, that drop it doesn't work that way anymore. It's no longer a pool, it's a river. So the entire 60 centimeter deep cross section there is moving. But over there, out in the middle, the moving part is going to be mostly just that top part. And that's the way that a pool dynamic works. Water comes in, if it's in a waterfall, it'll smash it, it'll create a little wave and push water out of the way, and then the depression behind it, the water on the sides, will rush to fill that gap. But the way it fills the gap is the top water flows into the bottom water, into the hole. It's just flowing into a hole. So that happens on the surface. And that's why I always scold government or whoever else, a lot of people commenting when they say things like, oh, be careful about the Schwen Wall underwater. There are cases where that can happen. People posted them on my Facebook there, talk about sieves, or it's basically if you had a rock blocking the river, but it didn't block it all the way down to the bottom, so the water was rushing out the bottom. Those are extremely dangerous. It's called a sieve. It's not what's happening here. It's not what happens in a pool or most of the waterfalls. It's something that happens in a river when a bunch of rocks pile up. It's much more of a concern for whitewater kayakers and river tracers than it is for anybody swimming in a pool. Anyway, the sun just went down. It goes down so much earlier now in the winter and also in the mountains, so the temperatures drop, but I'm going to rush in there and try to get some swimming done before it's too late. Woo! 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 It's not deep here, but the bottom's all muddy, so you can't really walk either. You got to swim. Here it's warm. There's like warm areas and cold areas. This one has a slow drift that I gotta fight. It's slowly taking me to the edge of the lake over there. You got lots and lots of time to correct it though. So it's like no big deal to get to shore. You just sort of swim laterally against it. Woo! Deeper than I expected. Oh man, it's so nice though. This is a nice pool. Wow, sunset on the lake. Woo! Sunset on the lake. That is amazing. I'm super satisfied with this pool. What's so cool about the south that in November, somehow, this is simultaneously swim in a lake season and simultaneously hot spring season. Actually, we're right next to the Ushui hot spring too. So you could actually just swim here, go right out, and then go to the hot spring. I think it's time to go though. Thanks a lot for watching.
Also, thanks a lot to Roto-Q 360 for sponsoring this video. I liked my rotisserie chicken so much that later I roasted an even larger one at home. It's a fun and easy way to grill large pieces of meat. You can get yours today from the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching everyone, and have a fantastic night.